Oh, there it is. Thank you very much. Hey, guys, thank you so much for stopping by. I love these lightning talks, and the reason I love these lightning talks is that it's part of a wonderful community, and we're just so thankful that you came by to give us our 18 or 20 minutes or whatever it is time. So we have a lot to cover today. I'm Dave Schatzman. I'm this guy right here. I've been with AWS about 4 years. Sean and I started within a month of one another. Been in public sector my whole life, OEM sales, part of the defense industrial base. Sean, what's your scoop?
So I'm Sean Asfeld. I'm a solutions architect working with our government regions team and Dave, and primarily focused on customers looking to utilize our government regions, primarily with security and compliance. So
yeah, for sure. Well, here's what we want to do today. We want to talk to you about the history and innovation and how we got to where we are today. What we have right now that we feel would be compelling for you to know about today. And then, excitingly, what are we thinking about for the future? So it's just 3 quick topics. So let me give you a preview here. Foundations for innovation. The most important thing that we do at AWS is provide security for our federal customers' data and our broader public sector customers' data. One of the key ways that we do that is through operational excellence. So I'm going to give you a perspective of some of our most senior leaders here at AWS. You've heard a little bit about this, and you will hear more at the ongoing keynotes. But let me give you the perspective of our CISO, CJ Moses. Maybe some of you have done EBCs with him. Security to us is broad-reaching. Security to us includes everything from the edge routers all the way through our network to the VPCs, through every single component of our infrastructure down to the kernel level and at the OS level. We are very, very, very deliberate about security. Now, Sean, give us a little more information about how we think about security in the context of the specific public sector market.
Well, we think about the requirements that customers have to meet when it comes to FedRAMP, whether that's moderate or high, CMMC, ITAR, export control, Department of Defense impact levels. So we have a broad scope of partitions or regions available to meet these different compliance requirements. And so we think about it that way, but we also think about some of it as being tooling.
Yes.
Some of the tools that we offer to help you, like AWS Config or those other ones, or maybe the well-architected tool. So
yeah, for sure.
Definitely, things that we offer and things that we... Dave, come over here.
Oh, sorry. Am I blocking you?
Things that we offer, as a part of that shared responsibility model to also help you achieve those outcomes.
All right, you want me over here close to you, I get it.
Yes, yeah.
But overall, securing your data, securing federal data is the most important thing we do. And as I alluded to before, operational excellence is of critical importance to us. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean to have operational excellence? That's a wonderful question. Maybe you're thinking about that right now. Well, to us, it means a couple of things. One, it means that making very small, incremental, reversible changes frequently is the best way to achieve and maintain operational excellence. So that doesn't mean making sweeping changes to any component of our infrastructure or services or networking at any time. We make very small incremental changes. But it means more than just that. We design our infrastructure from the bottom up. Even when you think about power, you think about cooling, you think about fire suppression, you think about compartmentalization, network architecture, it goes on and on and on, the things that we think about. But providing operational excellence for our infrastructure enables our customers to trust that their data will be safe with us. Now, we recognize that it's a shared responsibility, right, Sean. Operational excellence is a shared responsibility. So talk us through some of the tools, processes, and techniques that we have available to you to achieve operational excellence for your workloads.
Well, I'll be brief because this is a lightning talk, but we do have things like AWS Resilience Hub, right? It allows you to analyze your workloads to see each individual workload to see if it's going to meet your resiliency targets, and if it's not, it can give you suggestions, either economical or just best practice suggestions on how to help that workload. Chaos testing, fault injection simulation, a lot of these different tools to make sure that your architecture will stay resilient, and then obviously the well-architected tools we alluded to earlier to help you actually start with a good design from the beginning. So,
for sure, I got a question. Anyone doing chaos testing to any degree, just out of curiosity? There you go, one or two. That's 3? Okay, good. That's excellent. Hey, that's something you should. I can name many, many, many enterprise customers globally that have taken advantage of chaos testing as a risk management framework tactic. So definitely take a look at chaos testing. Maybe next year we'll get 30 or 40% of the hands up. So let's move on here. We'll go through this really quickly, but at a high level, earning your trust is the most important thing that we do. And for the last 18 years, we have made those investments in operational excellence and security to help earn your trust. And we've grown, of course, from the one region we started with in Northern Virginia back in 2006 to 34 global regions, Sean. And talk to us about some of the security innovation real quick here.
So when we think about tools and features across all of our partitions, we've introduced an additional 300 plus security features. I don't know how many service offerings we're at today. It's reInvent, so it could have changed since this morning. But we're definitely over 200, so we'll just go with that generic. But Dave, do you want to talk a little bit about our infrastructure and maybe water positivity?
Sure. So if you've gone through the conference floor upstairs and even down here, you've realized that sustainability is really important to Amazon as a corporation, but it's also important to AWS, right? And so carbon neutrality is very important to us. Being wastewater positive is very important to us. And just broader sustainability, particularly with energy consumption, is really important. And we're proud to say that our domestic regions, 2 of the 4 right now, are in fact carbon neutral. And we're on a path to do that for the balance of the globe. We're working very hard toward that. So we know that many federal agencies, public sector customers in general, often have sustainability targets. So we're happy to offer you the ability to inherit those investments that we've made in those 3 areas. And then we'll close off this slide by saying, look, we recognize that cost now is very, very, very important, cost savings. So we have continued and we continue to reduce the price of our services to make it fair for our customers and also to be able to continue to offer the operational excellence. And then lastly, one of the things that we're really proud of is our ability to help partners. Maybe some of you sitting here are partners. We're very proud to partner with over 12,000 different offerings from about 120 different providers to be able to extend the solutions offerings of our services to be able to enable all sorts of different mission outcomes. Now, let's turn our attention, well, what do we have right now for you, for customers, to enable your business outcomes and your mission objectives? Well, let's go back in time really briefly to the days when Jeff Bezos founded Amazon Web Services in 2006. When that happened in 2006, not sure where everyone was working at that point, but we were in an on-premise environment. The data centers were common, right? 3-tier architectures were common. And Jeff Bezos changed all that. But one thing we noticed in the 2007-2008 timeframe is that broadly public sector was not adopting cloud to the same degree that you might see with an airline or a financial services institution or manufacturing, on a global scale. And so that led to us learning and understanding that the federal government and the broader public sector has very unique compliance requirements. Sean, you mentioned some of them earlier. Yep. And that led to AWS in 2011 launching the first of what turned out to be many regions that were purpose-built to meet unique mission requirements. And Sean, I know you're going to talk us through that, so
sure.
Please, go ahead.
So starting on our left, we have our commercial standard regions. We have US, East, and West, right? So there you can do FedRAMP moderate workloads. We have services that we've taken through that. Equivalent to that would be DoD Impact Level 2. And then moving to the right, we have another partition of AWS, which is GovCloud. That's where you have FedRAMP High, CMMC Level 2, DoD Impact Level 4 and 5 workloads, ITAR, International Traffic and Arms Regulations, export control, controlled unclassified information, sensitive but unclassified for official use only, right? So these higher classifications. GovCloud is a separate partition from the commercial region, but it is not internet isolated like some of our other regions off to the right that offer classified workloads, right? So it's still internet connected. It still has the look and feel of our standard commercial regions. It's just a separate partition, a community of vetted users that are allowed to operate in there. There are no sponsorship requirements or anything like that, but it's so that you can run those, high value assets, those workloads that require additional compliance. It's not, GovCloud's not more secure than any of our other regions. All of our regions are secure. They just meets different compliance requirements. So.
Right, for sure. And one thing I wanted to say, how many of y'all work with FedRAMP? Just out of curiosity, I want to make a comment. Most
there
of us,
we go.
Okay. Yeah, so we're very proud to say that many of you have followed the NIST, National Institute of Science and Technology, 800-53 revision 4 to revision 5 controls migration. Well, we're very proud to be able to say to you, well, today and before, that we've completed our annual reassessment and we are operating under the revision 5 baseline for FedRAMP, both for our commercial regions and for our GovCloud regions and for our secret regions. Top Secret doesn't have a FedRAMP component to it. But anyway, so if any of y'all are wondering, well, how is AWS thinking about the revision 5 control set? Well, we've thought about it, it's done, and we've moved on. So as you are working on your annual reassessments for next year, you will inherit our revision 5 controls. So this is our public sector offering, first cloud service provider to offer such. So, okay, great, we did that. So where do we go now? Well, you've heard all the wonderful announcements that have been ongoing throughout the week. We won't talk you through any of those, but we will talk you through a couple of things here that I think are really important. What I've realized, what we've realized, what Sean and I have realized is that region-based computing is very important to our customers, right? That's how they save money, scale, and benefit from the cloud. But with that said, more and more customers within public sector are interested in non-region-based technologies. And so we have invested heavily in what we call our Outpost, which is one of our solutions that you can actually put in your data center or in a co-located facility, Equinix, CoreSite, and so forth. So we have that available to you. We're continuing to invest in that. The Snow family is another example of compute that goes and exists in a disconnected environment. We will continue to invest heavily in those things for the benefit of the various federal missions. Then, another thing that we have realized that we really need to focus on heavily is the availability of accelerated compute, GPUs, right? Both ours, the AWS versions, but also many of our partners, which I won't name here, obviously. But we will continue to offer and to invest so that we're able to address the scale of compute, at the major level. And I know that right now many of you may think, well, GPUs are a scarce commodity. Yeah, sure, maybe, but we are investing heavily to make sure that our customers can achieve what they need to with accelerated compute and that they're well positioned for the future. And Sean, I can't say accelerated compute without making a comment about generative AI, so.
So we've been doing artificial intelligence, machine learning in GovCloud in our commercial regions for a long time. Generative AI is the kind of another version of that where we're not just looking at past, but we're looking at creating future, right? But none of that starts without great data. So
for sure.
I do want to say that about generative AI. But we have our services like SageMaker, like Bedrock. We have our models that are available. Our GPUs are becoming more available. We just got Impact Level 5 accreditation for Bedrock.
That's right. Yeah.
We got another accreditation there. It's already FedRAMP High. So generative AI is definitely on the forefront. It's definitely a big push for us in government regions as we try to give you the tools that you need so that you can get out of those development environments, those proof of concepts, and get on to production usage of our generative AI tools. So.
Yeah, for sure. And this quantum computing is something that's really exciting to me. I'm actually working on some academic work related that I'll tell you about another day. But quantum computing is something that I study, very closely, and that our government regions study very closely, because quantum computing, when it's productized, will have enormous opportunity for good, and it will have enormous security implications as well. And so we are investing, in partnership with Caltech. AWS is investing in partnership with Caltech to make sure that we are bringing the most viable quantum computing solutions to market at the time that it makes sense, right? If any of you follow quantum computing, you know that cooling and error are the two sort of things that everyone's thinking through right now. Caltech's no exception. Peter DeSantis, so I think you might have heard his keynote, is the person that interfaces with Caltech. But we are watching that very closely for our customers so that when it is a productizable solution in the coming years, that we will have a solution for our public sector customers. Now, as we start to wind down here, I want to impart some knowledge on you that I've learned through many years. And if you read the tagline here, it's a pretty bold thing to say. But for me, for the many years I've been in the public sector market, partnerships promote missions, vendorships do not. So what I would say to you is challenge your sales rep, challenge your sales team to help you and to embed themselves into your mission. Because if they understand your mission and they understand what your business objectives are, they can work backwards from that to help you succeed. And of course, their success is our partner's success, and ultimately, citizens, right? So don't go down the road of treating your sales rep as a vendor. You will get much more success if you treat them as a partner.
Well, Dave, and as they work with their sales team, that's how we get our customer feedback from you all to see what do you need in your environments? What do we need to bring to our government regions, right? So, 80% of the things that we build is based on your feedback. 20% is based on us looking forward to see what we think the future might hold. And so, work closely with your teams. They're there to help. We have specialists. I'm a specialist. We have lots of different SAs and technical support across the organization that can help you with your workloads.
Absolutely. And bring your issues to our executives, right? If you have things that you need or concerns that you have, or you want partnership for confidence, reach out to us. Have your salesperson bring you to Seattle or to Arlington now, HQ2, and engage with our senior leadership so that they can understand your mission. Now, I want to leave you with one path. We're not going to do that. We're going to go here. This is something that there's a lot out. This is a lot of generative AI talk on the floor today, right? And so I wanted to give you our perspective on this. And this is really important. You can scan the white and read the white paper on it. But this is what we have seen in public sector regarding generative AI, well, broader AI adoption. And here is the bit of advice that we'll give you today. Start with something small, right? Dip your foot in the ocean, but don't jump in cold. Do a chatbot for HR or a chatbot for IT, right? And then realize the success from that, and then take on something a little more impactful. Realize the success there, and then take on something even more impactful. Like a snowball rolling down the hill, when you get to the bottom, you will have an innovatively transformed agency, enterprise, or organization as a result of taking that approach. Sean, tell us about the data.
And the last point I'll make is, before you get to all of that, right? Clean, organized, accessible data paths to getting data in, right? That's going to really underpin your generative AI or AI ML journey. So it'll all start with data, and then you find that workload, start small, grow from there.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like I said before in my previous slide, work with us and work with your technology providers. Those partnerships and all of that expertise will accelerate your mission outcomes and ultimately benefit you. So, I wanted to provide you with our LinkedIn QR codes here. So we'll be down front. If we can answer any questions, we'd be happy to do that. If you want to hit us up in LinkedIn, we'd be happy to follow back up with you. As customers and partners to AWS, you have access to us. If you have questions about our specific futures roadmap, products and services that you've heard about here today at reInvent and when they're coming to a particular region, ask us and we'd be more than happy to help you.
Yep.
So with that,
Thank
we
you.
will say thank you for your time and wish you a safe and wonderful conclusion to reInvent. Thank you.
Thank you.